Welcome to today's episode of My Pastor Preached Today. Get ready to hear the views of First Lovers about what they thought of a sermon preached by our pastor, prophet, and evangelist Bishop Dag Heward-Mills. Don't go anywhere.
My pastor preached today, and I learned that people who have moral weaknesses are likely to be disloyal. And if I want to keep up a moral life, I should exclude myself from them. Thanks.
My pastor preached today, and I learned about the signs of disloyalty. I remember Prophet talked about how people react in a crisis. That is how you can know whether they are loyal or disloyal to you. So when there's pressure or there's a problem, that is when you can discover whether or not people are loyal or disloyal to you. So I started checking my lifestyle, and I realized I don't really act well in a crisis. So I really need to correct that. Then he also talked about your relationship with your father also depicts whether or not you're loyal or disloyal. And that was a very blessed point for me, because I've encountered people who have not really had good relationships with their dad. And I also got to a point in my life where I felt that my dad wasn't doing well, because of the problems he had with my mom and all that. But I think that is also a blessing for me, because it's helping me also check my attitude towards my dad so that I don't become disloyal in the future. And I also pray to remain very faithful to the end by the grace of God. Thank you.
The pastor preached today, and I learned that your behavior in times of pressure really matters. If you are loyal, you are constant in times of pressure, it's a sign that you are a faithful person. But if you abandon your pastor, your leader, or anybody you are with in times of crisis or pressure, then it's a sign that you are not loyal, you are not faithful. I pray that by the grace of God, I'm able to remain loyal and faithful, constant in times of pressure. Thank you.
My pastor preached today about people who are likely to be unfaithful. And one of the points that struck me was people who are not ready to be trained or retrained. For somebody like me, I've had a lot of lifestyle, I've had a lot of things that I know that has to be changed about me, but I don't yield to instructions, honestly. I don't yield to things that I have to not do and do. And when my pastor made mention that I have to yield to instructions, I have to be trained again, and it's a good thing, I felt encouraged to listen to instructions now. I felt that I have to humble myself, because the Bible says that God gives grace to the humble. And I believe that the words that my pastor is preaching is a seed that is killing other bad seeds that I've already had within me. Other things that people have told me, that you have to be yourself, I have to be independent. Like people actually can't be like me. So I have to stay consistent to what I am. That I felt I've been deceived by somebody. That there are good people who instruct me, there are good people who want me to be groomed, or who wants to change me to become a better person, but I don't yield to that. And I felt that it's very dangerous if I don't yield to the instructions of my pastors and good people that God has given me to become better. And that is what I learned today. Thank you.
My pastor preached today, and I learned that the word is a seed, and the seeds that come into you matter. When the serpent spoke to man, he sowed seeds of corruption, of lying, of deceit, and disloyalty. So the words that you listen to matter, because words are seeds. Thank you.
Thank you for tuning in to today's episode of My Pastor Preached Today. To watch the message that First Lovers have discussed in full, head over to YouTube and search for Dag Heward-Mills Evangelist. Alternatively, you can also listen to the message on the podcast app. If you use an Apple device, search for Dag Heward-Mills in the podcast app, or search for Dag Heward-Mills on Podcast Addict if you use an Android device. God bless you, thank you for watching, and stay tuned for the next episode of My Pastor Preached Today.
My pastor preached